Good morning, folks. You're watching torrential rainfall surge a stream, erode a wall, and drop an entire hotel into the drink. Global flood uptick continues. Today we'll look at space weather, the earthquake watch is peaking, we look at radiation, volcanoes, and tsunamis, but we begin, as always, over at spaceweathernews.com. We're finding the last 24 hours on our star were a bit of hurry up and wait. The massive southern coronal hole system is going to cross center longitudes this weekend. The sunspots are a more fun story, however. Flashing from the incoming group silences as the Earth-facing quiet was waiting just around the bend for it. You'll watch the exact same thing happen with the new grouping, born, flashing, flexing, and then realizing who's standing in front of him, and he checks himself quite quickly. Earth-facing quiet has utterly dominated and suppressed this sunspot flurry into aesthetic beauty only, and nothing burgers in terms of solar flaring. That was a little Shark Tank quote to kick us off. As we slide down solar wind telemetry, look at purple, that's the particle speed, showing us the fastest part of the stream has ended, and we're coming back down now from geomagnetic storm risk. Never did get there yesterday. Coming back to that coronal hole, the northern hemisphere is 70% covered by the northern opening, but this transequatorial IMF source is reaching for the stars all the way up from the South Pole. Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, and across the waters in Peru, the shaking has already begun at moderate levels. Eyes open. We're coming to a fissure eruption in Ethiopia where three tectonic plates are ripping away from one another. That's just on the northern border of the nation, while increases in seismic activity occurred to the south. Likely just doing its Iceland impression, as northern Atlantic earthquakes to the south of there accompany major uptick signals and fears of imminent eruptions at Katla, which would disrupt most of the northern hemisphere. Up next, we're at the most recent word from NASA on cosmic rays and airlines, and it is not encouraging. Apparently, the primary particles at higher altitudes, which are vastly more dangerous than the secondary particles which come down further, are playing a much greater role above what they thought was the cosmic ray max altitude in our sky. From the bad human ideas section, they want to fire superpowered sonic waves through the ocean to stop tsunamis in their tracks. Forgetting that it could mess with significant rhythms in the ocean, there is evidence that lesser sound wave tests are responsible for major marine life die-offs in recent years, so just imagine what that would do. Lastly, folks, that's snow in the Sahara Desert story. Twice in a month after 40 years without it. That's the type of thing that puts the entire nomadic culture of the region in jeopardy. EPOA is in place, and hopefully that's all those folks are going to get from this winter. They can't handle any more. Folks, there are a handful of tickets left for Observing the Frontier 2017. In addition to all the speakers and presentations, the Fly on the Wall crew will be there, including Billy Elverton of our Plasma Lab. In addition to the new Deeper Look episode you got yesterday, that Fly on the Wall podcast does happen every Saturday and is just a few hours away. We've got pressure and radar forecast now, followed by shots of our star to close. It's 4:20 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.